been a bit of confusion on people on YouTube and on Facebook on about the coils. Some are saying, "Oh, just stick the 15 inch on, use that for everything." That's fair enough. It is a really good coil. The 11 inch is a really good coil. The 8 inch is a really good coil. But there's times and places where each coil will shine. And if you get the right coil in the right scenario, you're going to have a lot more yield. You're going to find a lot more targets. So yeah, the Monster 15 inch coil. When would I use that coil? It is very sensitive to small targets. It's, you know, just because it's a big coil, I was surprised how sensitive it was to the tiniest of targets. The time to use this, the best, you know, you can use it in all scenarios, but the best time this will shine is clean ground where there's not a lot of iron and minerals. So you can turn your sensitivity up a bit, you can get the maximum performance and maximum depth out of the machine and out of the coil. So hardly any iron, you're looking for deeper targets, especially the larger targets. The 15 inch coil, I've done some pictures and I'll show you at the end of the video the differences from all different coils and where the gains are. But with a 15 inch coil, you are going to get more depth. The depth is going to be more noticeable on the larger targets. This is just a large conductive, large non-ferrous target, and that was banging out a lot more. All the settings are exactly the same. I've just swapped the coils over. The difference from that to the 8 inch is phenomenal because it's the larger coil. It's better at looking at larger targets. It's an air test, so it's a perfect scenario for no minerals and no iron contamination. But it's just demonstrating the depth. It's not scientific, but it's demonstrating the gains from all the coils. So the large target was mega difference. But then we've got a little tiny strap fitting, wafer thin. There was, I think, on that, the smaller coil was the same depth. So on the big item, it just blew it out of the water. On the small item, the smaller coil might have had a little more depth on the small target over the massive coil. And then we've got hammered coins. The smaller the target goes, you'll start to see the advantages of the big coils just become less and less and less. So if you're going to use the 15 inch coil, that will, you can use it anywhere, but that will shine on clean ground, going for from the penny size up, say. It's wafer thin, but from a hammered penny up, you're going to get more performance, and that's why you should be using the bigger coil. That's where the coil will shine. 11 inch coil is middle of the road. That would be my go-to coil. I'll be using that most of the time that I'm searching until I come to an area where it's either very quiet and I know there's going to be some hammered at depth, so I'll whack the big coil on and I know I'm going to have the advantage over 90% of the people in that field. If I was in the other scenario and I've got the 8 inch coil, which is the last one I just used on the test, that is going to absolutely shine when you're on mineralised, iron infested sites. I would use that over the large coil all day long because it's just going to get in amongst the iron, and it's going to get all the tiny little hammers and the tiny little it depends what site you're on, little Roman coins, minims, you know, you're picking the bones of it, and it's so responsive. Yes, you're losing depth on the larger targets because it's all getting masked out by the minerals and everything like that. But if you've got the iron, and then you've got a little tiny target in it, because it's a smaller footprint, it's got more chance of getting in. So you can't swing fast. You're just slowly going along. You go beep, 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 beep. And because it's such the thin blade that goes into that ground, it's a smaller footprint. It's not looking at a big area of the soil. It's only looking at 2 nails. Beep, 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 beep. If you've got the big footprint of the big coil on, you might be looking at 20 nails. So it's harder for that to sort of be able to make that little target bang out. So I'll just show you that this is just a quick video just to explain. Big coil, middle coil, and the small coil are brilliant coils, and they all shine in their own place. It's just when to use it. Big coil for clean ground, looking for bigger targets. The 11 inch coil is probably your go-to coil until you find an area that's clean of ground to use the big coil. Or if it's really iron infested and you want to get in amongst it, then use a small coil. Hope that helps. If it's your own permission, this is for like rally thinking. So if you was on a rally going along and everyone starts, it's really iron infested, blah blah, whack your little coil on straight away. If it's your own permission, you can work it a bit different. You can, right, I'm going to go over with the 11-inch coil. I'm going to go, say if there's an area of 30 foot square or something, up and down, then go that way. Absolutely hammer that area. And work with the 11-inch coil. Keep the 11-inch coil on. Try a different mode. Try low conductor, high conductor, whatever. Try faster recovery speeds. Try different ground balances. Drop your sensitivity, up your sensitivity. Then go over the area. Smash it in all different scenarios because it will make a difference. Once you've hammered it and you think, oh, I've exhausted that area now, then then I would try the small coil to try and get all the little bits in amongst the iron, and then, or you can go the other way around, but then I would go to the 15-inch coil, nice and steady, slower swing, just to see if you can punch that bit deeper. But it's going to be, you'll be able to see what you've missed, but every coil will be finding different things. Okay, so now on the screen you've got the 3 different coils. They was all running at the same settings, just to keep it so you can tell the differences. Now you're looking at the 15-inch coil. I want you to keep an eye on the changes with the larger items, from the medieval spout down to the larger hammer coin, etc, etc, and watch the differences. So this is the 15-inch coil. Now you're looking at the 11-inch coil. As you can see, the larger items are starting to change and starting to come down a little bit. Now you're looking at the 8-inch coil. You've gone from over 2 foot and it's come down about 6 or 7 inches compared to the 15-inch coil. But if you look at the lower end of the targets, the smaller targets, there's very little between them on the depth. So it's showing the larger coil is giving you a bigger advantage on the larger items, especially in the clean ground. Right, I hope that helped, just to clear a few things up so you understand why and when to use the different coils. They all shine in their own right. It's just, you could just use one coil and be happy. You could use 11-inch, you could use the 15-inch coil on a mega Roman site, speed everything up, drop the sensitivity, and it will work. But what's the point of having that massive coil on where it's going to overload it and it's going to struggle? You know what I mean? So if you have the small one on there, and you could just nice and steady get in amongst it all. But yeah, I'm loving them all. I've had the mega depth on the 15-inch coil. I think I had something like, what was it, 18, 19 inches on a halfpenny. You know, it's mega deep. But the pictures that you're seeing now is just proof in the pudding why the coils work differently and how to use them and when to use them. Right then. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope that's helped you out a little bit in understanding when and what coils to buy, or if you're going to buy the coil. The 11-inch coil will be brilliant for most of the scenarios. You don't have to go and buy a coil thinking you have to have it. But when you think there's 260 quid or something like that, that's a lot of money for a coil. But if you've got a site where hammer coins coming up, say if you're on an old church field and you've walked around, you've cleaned up, and most of your hammers have been coming up 10 inches, 12 inches, and you're just getting on the edge of detection, and you've had quite a few, and in your head you're thinking, there's got to be more there, there's got to be more. Then go for the 15-inch coil. You're going to need to find 1 or 2 hammers, and that could pay for it. 1 hammer could pay for that coil. So it's worth upgrading the coil then, because one fine can change it all. And it depends on the size of the hammers, blah blah blah. But if you got the big dustbin lids down there, you're going to get an extra 4 or 5 inches. Big difference in it. So pick the right coil for the day. Go and find them goodies. Good luck, everyone. Thanks for watching. If you're not subscribed already, make sure you go and get subscribed. I'm putting a lot of content out this year, helping everyone, and also loads of nice finds and having great adventures and stuff like that. Click the like button and drop a comment below if it's helped you in any way. If you think I'm wrong, if you think I'm right, whatever, drop me a comment and let me know, and we'll suss it out between us. So, enjoy.